If you want to save anywhere from 10 to up to 50% of your development time, use VS Code extensions properly. Hey guys, Joy here. Today I'm going to show you how you can utilize VS Code plugins to save time and increase productivity. So let's get started. So in total we're going to discuss about 14 plugins. So you can see the list over here, 1 to 7 over here, and at the bottom over here 8 to 14. Also, if you're a beginner, then I'm going to show you how you can set up VS Code on your machine. But if you don't want to see this part, the installation part, you can definitely skip this. This entire video is divided into chapters. Timestamps are given on the description down below. Also, if this video gets 100 likes, then I'm going to make part 2. So hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. By the way, my buddy Chris Coyote wrote an amazing article on essential VS Code plugins. Check the link in the description down below. Also, follow him on Twitter. Alright, now the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up our VS Code. So you can see this VS Code over here, I have it. Now I'm going to delete this. I'm going to set up along with you so that I can show you the steps of how to set up VS Code properly. Look at this over here. I'm going to delete this right now. Now what you're going to do is you're going to come to Google, okay? And here you're going to write download VS Code like this. So you're going to get this link over here, code.visualstudio.com, okay? You're going to click this over here. And now look at this. If you're on Windows, then you're going to find this, okay? And if you're on Ubuntu or Mac, you're going to find this option over here. So I'm on Windows, I'm going to click this over here. Okay, now you can see that Visual Studio is getting downloaded over here, so we have to wait. Alright, now I'm done downloading, so I'm going to come over here on the download section. You can see this VS Code over here, okay? I'm going to open this. And now I'm going to click this. I accept the agreements, okay? Let me actually bring it over here. Alright, and where do you want to set up this, okay? I'm going to browse it to my this folder over here, okay? Joy does work on VS Code projects over here, VS Code, okay? Click OK and then click next over here like this, and you don't have to write anything. You don't have to do anything over here. Just click next. If you click this option over here, then you're going to get a desktop icon over here, okay? So we're going to click this over here and click this both over here like this, and also this one. Now let me explain this option, the open with code, okay? So look at this projects over here. I have a bunch of projects over here. So if I click this option, then what I'm gonna get is, okay, so if I right click over here, then I'm gonna get a direct option, open with VS Code, which means that I can save 5 seconds of time. So you're gonna click next, click installed, and there we go, we are done installing VS Code. Now you're gonna click finish and it is gonna launch because we have ticked this over here, launch VS Code. Okay, finish. And regarding the option, the open with code option that I was talking about, look at this. This is a project over here, okay, VS Code plugins. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click over here. Now look at this option over here, open with code. If I click this, then it's gonna directly open that project on VS Code over here. Look at this. You're saving a couple of seconds over here. Now let me explain some components of VS Code in very short. So we have these options over here. This is called the activity bar, okay, and this is called the status bar. If you don't see any of them, like the activity bar or the status bar, what you can do is you're gonna click view over here and then appearance. Look at this. We have the status bar. The blue colored ribbon at the bottom is the status bar, and that activity bar is the bar on the very left, okay? This one is called the activity bar. This is called the status bar, okay? So you can also come on the view appearance, and you can also hide it like this, okay? Like this, look, it got hidden, okay? Now I'm gonna bring it back, view appearance, activity bar. There we go. Now what is this? These are the files, okay? If I come over here on this folder, then you can see that we have two files over here, the index.html and the style. These two options over here. It's gonna get showed up over here like this, and this small icon, let me actually zoom in a little bit like this. Look at this. This small icon is used to create a new file, and this one is used to create a new folder, okay? And look at this over here. This is called the extensions tab. Today we're gonna play around with various extensions. If you click over here, then you're gonna get, first of all, the installed, what is installed on your setup, okay? And the next thing that you're gonna get is the search bar search bar over here. Okay, you're gonna click this and you're gonna search the specific extension you want to install and use. Alright then, if you want to follow along with the tutorial, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna create a new file, okay, folder, like this, new folder, VS Code, plugins, like this, okay. There we go, and you're gonna open this and you're gonna you're gonna open this on VS Code like this, okay. You're gonna get this option, open with code. There we go, we save time. By default, you're gonna get this tab, okay. You're gonna delete this. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over here, okay, this is the folder. You're gonna click this plus sign over here and you're gonna write index.html, okay, .html like this, and you're gonna create another file, style.sass. Okay, so instead of CSS we're using SASS, but don't worry, I'm gonna show you why. Because we're gonna install a plugin named wait a minute, Live SASS compiler. That's why we have used this SASS over here, and using that plugin we're gonna convert that SASS to CSS. Don't worry, I'm gonna show everything to you. Alright boys and girls, we're done setting up VS Code on our computer. Now we're gonna start discussing with Emmet and Intellisense. By the way, Emmet and Intellisense, both of them are pre-installed on VS Code. I'm gonna show you how you can utilize both of them properly to save time and increase productivity. Let's get started. So I'm gonna come to VS Code over here, okay. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit and look what I write, okay. I'm gonna write exclamatory sign like this. Look at this. When I hit tab, it's gonna auto generate me HTML codes. But what is Intellisense? This single letter is called Emmet, okay, and this option over here, you see this box over here, this is Intellisense. It's gonna show me when I click this little icon over here all the generated HTML, okay. Let me zoom out a little bit. If you drag this like this, then you're gonna see all the code that is getting generated through Emmet. So this is Intellisense and this is Emmet over here. If you hit tab like this, look at that, it generated me all this HTML boilerplate in just how many seconds? Just a single second, 1 second. And if you don't use Emmet properly, what will happen is you're gonna hand code all of them, which means that you're wasting 5 minutes. So in a year, let's say that you're making 100 projects, which means that you're wasting 500 minutes, which is equivalent to 3 or 4 projects, or perhaps 5 projects even. Okay, now let me actually show you how to use the Emmet shortcuts, okay. If I hit dot, okay, it's gonna create me a div with an empty class name like this, dot tab. And by the way, when you write dot like this, okay, Intellisense will work automatically, okay. You can see that it will show us what is getting generated over here. Look at this, div class, it is empty over here, okay, and there is no text inside, it's gonna be empty, okay. Let's hit tab and see what happens like this. There we go, we have a div with a class, empty class over here and no text over here. You can write text over here like this. And let me actually show you another way to write. I'm gonna create a div with a class name container like this, dot container, okay, and inside that container I'm gonna create 5 boxes. So how I'm gonna do that, okay, it's gonna be like this, and dot box, okay, I'm gonna create 5 boxes. So what I'm gonna write is $*4, 5 boxes, okay, 5 like this. Now look, Intellisense is working. Intellisense is working, okay. So if I click over here, there we go, look at that, Intellisense is showing me what is getting generated over here when I hit tab like this. Look at this over here and look at this. Look, we got 5 boxes inside our container. So this is the Emmet cheat sheet. This carries all the Emmet abbreviations and shortcuts for HTML, CSS, etc. I'm going to link this cheat sheet in the description down below. Go and check it out. Let's say that I want to experiment with this one over here, okay, the multiplication over here, which I showed you just now. This one over here, how I did this, let me actually show you, okay. Dot stands for the class, okay, container stands for the class name, okay, and if I write this angle bracket over here, which means that create children, okay, and dot means class, okay, box 1, which means that it's gonna create me just 1 box. If I want to do it quickly, then what I'm gonna write is I'm gonna write $sign over here, and then I'm gonna hit star. Okay, how many boxes do I want? Let's say I want to create 5 or even 10 boxes. Okay, I'm gonna write 10 over here, and I'm gonna hit tab like this. Look how easily I created boxes. In the same way, you can create markup for your project as well. Now I'm going to show you how you can save time using Emmet and Intellisense while writing CSS. Okay, so I'm going to come over to CSS over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to write star over here. Okay, it's curly braces. You can write anything you want. Okay, so you can also write that class name. Okay, dot box1 like this as well, but I'm going to write over here star curly braces like that. Okay, so let's say that I want to write margin 0 pixels. So what we do is margin 0 px like this. Okay, so if we use Emmet, now look how quickly it's gonna generate me CSS lines. Okay, m0px. You're gonna hit tab. Look at this. Look how quickly it made me CSS lines. Okay, padding 0 pixels. Look, p0px tab. There we go. Boom. This is how to save time. Let's say I want to write box sizing to border box. Okay, box sizing, there is it. Look at this. This is Intellisense over here. If I write box over here, then it is going to help me auto-complete the rest. Okay, let's say I want to write box sizing. Okay, if you're not happy with this, what you can do is you can learn more about what this property does through this tab over here. Look, specifies the behavior of the width and the height property. Okay, I'm going to click this over here, and look at this. These are the values that we have. Okay, border box, content box. It's gonna also highlight what this values does. Okay, like this content box over, oh sorry, let me actually bring it back. Content box over here, look at this, behavior of width and height as specified by CSS. You're gonna get information over here of how to utilize that property. So I'm gonna click this. Actually, I'm gonna write border box. Okay, bow tab. There we go. Let's do it very quickly. Okay, BS tab, sorry, box sizing, bow tab. There we go. Look how quickly I made CSS lines. Let's practice a little bit more. Okay, dot container, okay, D colon F tab, display flex. If I want to write justify content, JC, look, tab. Okay, it has written start over here. So if I click Control and space, then you're gonna see all of these options that I have for this property. Let's delete start. Okay, and you're gonna hit Control and space bar like this. Then you're gonna find all of this option over here. This is Intellisense. I'm gonna move it using the arrow keys. Okay, down like this. Look at this. Look at this description over here. Okay, flex items are packed towards the center of the line. So using Intellisense, you're also getting hints on how to utilize the property and its values. Now I'm going to show you two plugins together, auto close and auto rename tag. Let's talk about this plugin over here, auto close tags. Normally what we do is when we try to write an opening tag, we also have to close it with a closing tag, something like this. Look, div like this. So when we write that angle bracket, we also have to close that tag. But if you enable this plugin, that auto close tag, what will happen is the moment you write that angle bracket, it's gonna automatically close that tag for us. Look at this. This one is automatically generated. Let me show that to you again. Okay, if I write HTML like this, if I close it like this, there we go. This part is automatically generated. So this is auto close tags. Another plugin that I recommend is auto rename tag. This one made by Jun Han. Let me show you a small demo. Okay, let's say that I have created a div. Okay, like this, div like this. If I close it, then the tag gets automatically closed because of this plugin over here, auto close tags. Okay, let's say that I want to let's say that we want to convert this div to a span. Okay, so what we normally do is we're gonna click this and we're gonna write span like this. Okay, and then what we have to do is we have to click this again and write span. Look at this, like that, which means that we are losing our time. So if we enable this extension, okay, I'm gonna enable this like this. Now let's see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna remove this from here. I'm gonna create a div. Okay, tab. There we go. If I want to convert this to a span, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write span over here like this, and look at that. This extension is auto generating us the span. on the closing tag like this. We are saving our time. Let's experiment again. Okay, HTML over here like this, tab, and if I want to convert that to a div, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this and write div like this. There we go. Look at this, it got auto generated. Let's talk about the third plugin, Prettier plugin. Okay, now I'm back to HTML. Let's write code and experiment. Okay, dot container like this, and inside over here we're gonna create a box like this, dot box. Okay, tab, there we go. And inside over here we're gonna write box1, okay, like this. Now look, this looks untidy and without any format. I'm gonna cut this real quick, and I'm gonna hit this sign over here, tab, and I'm gonna paste that line over here like this, Ctrl V. And now I'm gonna create more boxes over here. Okay, dot box2 like this, tab, create some text over here as well. I'm gonna create some gap over here like this, some gap over here like this as well. Look, it looks very untidy. If you want to make your code very tidy, very professional, then I highly recommend you use this plugin, Prettier Code Formatter. Okay, I'm gonna enable this over here like this, and I'm gonna come back to HTML over here. What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna select all this code, Ctrl A, and I'm gonna hit Alt Shift F. Or what you can do is you're gonna right click over here, and you have this option, format document or format document with. Okay, you're gonna click this over here. Okay, and you can see this option Prettier, which is default, enabled in default. And you can see these options over here. Okay, Prettier Code Formatter, it is enabled by default. Okay, I'm gonna click this over here. Now look what is actually getting happened. Now look what happens, our code is getting formatted like this. Look, now it looks much better than before. It also works on CSS. Look at this over here. I have a lot of gaps over here, and I didn't place a semicolon over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all of them, right click and format document, Shift Alt F, which is a shortcut, or what you can do is you can just save it like this. Okay, Ctrl F, and it's gonna automatically format us, our document. Now look at this, your code looks much professional than before in just less than a second. Okay, now look at number 4 over here, Dexpin. This is actually not a VS Code plugin, but this is a small app you have to download for your computer. Okay, so what you're gonna write over here is Dexpin. So when you write Dexpin over here, then you're gonna find this option over here, and you're gonna click this, and you're gonna download this app. Now let me show you how this works. I'm going to open this demo project over here. Okay, now this is my VS Code, and this is my project over here. Wait a minute. Now look at this over here. This is my VS Code over here, and this is my project over here. Okay, if let's say that I want to test my project by clicking over here like this, look, my code is getting minimized. Okay, I have to click it again like this. Look at that. If I click again over here, then you can see that my code editor is getting minimized. Okay, like this. So after downloading the Dexpin, then you're gonna come over here. Okay, you see this arrow option over here, you're gonna click it, and you're gonna find this option over here like this. So I'm gonna open my VS Code over here and click this over here, and I'm gonna click it over here like this, and you see this pin on my hand, I mean on my mouse cursor, this pin, you can see this. Okay, I'm gonna click it over here on this cross sign like this. Look at that, the pin is over here. Now if I click over here, then you can see that it is not getting minimized over here. You can move it anywhere you want, and you can experiment code like this. So what I normally do is I keep my VS Code over here, and I write code over here like this, and I experiment live over here. Now let's look at plugin number 5, Pixel to Rem. There's one over here, Pixel to Rem, written by Marco N. Now let me show you where this is used. Okay, so I'm gonna come back to CSS over here, and look at this margin, we have 30 pixels. Okay, let's say that we want to make responsive websites. When you are making responsive websites, you definitely have to use the rem unit, and in this cases what you have to do is you have to convert this pixel to rem, which means that you have to rely on this calculator. But if you utilize that plugin, this one, the pixel to rem converter, now look what I do. Okay, I'm gonna click this over here, and I'm gonna press Alt and Z. Look at this, Alt Z, boom. My pixel got converted to rem very easily, quickly, 0.001 seconds. Now look, I'm gonna convert it back to pixels. Look at this, Alt Z, 30 pixels, Alt Z. Look at that, 1.875 pixels, I mean rem, 1.875 rem measurement accurately. Alt Z, you can just convert it back and forth like this. Look at that, without the need of a calculator, which means that you're saving a lot of time over here. Now let's look at plugin number 6, Path Intellisense. This one over here, Path Intellisense, written by Christian Kohler. It has over 5 million of downloads. Now let me show you where this is used. Okay, I'm gonna open my project folder over here. Now look at this over here. We have how many images? We have 1, 2, 3 images. Okay, I'm gonna expand this over here. Look at this. We have a logo over here, illustration over here as well. Okay, so I'm gonna open the HTML over here. Okay, now where did I link the logo? Okay, I'm gonna find that logo. Here is it. Here is the logo over here. Look at this over here, the image tag over here. Okay, so generally what we have to do is we have to manually write all of these lines. Okay, dot slash images slash logo slash svg, etc., which means that you're wasting your time. But if you install that plugin, this one, Path Intellisense, then you can see this small explainer video over here of how it is used. Okay, I'm gonna show you how it is used right now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write it again. Okay, like this. Look, img tab, which is Emmet, and this option over here is Intellisense. Okay, tab like this, and on this source, look what I do. Where is my image located? It's in the images file. Okay, dot slash, which means that I'm gonna go back. Sorry, wait a minute, dot slash. Look, I'm going back. Now look, what options do we have? We have, look, images over here. Okay, I'm gonna click this. Look, I don't have to write anything, it is getting automatically written. Now look, I want to select the logo. Okay, look at this, I have all the options that is on this images folder. Okay, fav icon, here is the fav icon over here, illustration, here is the illustration over here, logo, here is the logo over here. I need the logo. Okay, I'm gonna click this. Look at this, how many time did I save and how much time does it takes to write it. Okay, let's experiment again. Okay, img tab dot slash I images tab, then logo.svg. look at that, it took me just 2 seconds to write. And this is how to save time. This is how you can save time using these plugins. Now let's talk about plugin number 7. I know a lot of you struggle with Flexbox property and what each and every value does. And here this plugin comes in very handy. Let me show this to you. So I'm talking about this plugin over here, the CSS Flexbox cheat sheet. Now I'm gonna come back to CSS and I'm gonna show you how this is utilized. Okay, so look at this. Let's say that I want to utilize the Flexbox. Okay, D, okay, F tab, D colon F tab, display flex. Now let's say that I forgot the display flex property, I mean the Flexbox properties. I want to see what each and every property does and how the values work. So once you have installed this plugin, look at this option over here, Control KK. Let me show you how this is utilized. Okay, look at my finger over here. This is the left, this is the right. Okay, I'm gonna hold Control over here like this. I am holding the Control. Okay, and over here I'm gonna click the K. Okay, Control K. Look, I have raised my hands. Now I'm gonna click the K like this. Look at this, I got this tab over here. Let me show this to you again. Okay, hit Control K, Control K. Okay, look at this, my hands. Okay, I'm gonna hit K again like this. There we go. This is how to do Control KK. So once you hit Control KK, then you're gonna find this Flexbox cheat sheet over here. Okay, so on this settings, then you're gonna find first thing, left to right or right to left. Okay, let's say that I want to experiment with left to right. Okay, so I'm gonna click this, and if you want right to left, then you can also click this over here as well. So let me actually click this over here, and if you scroll down, then you're gonna also find shorthands over here as well. The flex direction over here, this is the row, this is the row reverse, this is the column over here, and then you can also try it out over here live, what each and every property does. Okay, let's say that I want to click row reverse. Look at this. we have live results over here. Let's say I want to experiment with columns. Okay, I'm gonna hit column. Look at that. Boom. Column reverse. Boom. Look at that. Flex reverse over here, and you can also experiment over here as well. Look at this. Flex wrap. Boom. Wrap reverse. Boom. I really hope that you find Flexbox cheat sheet very helpful. Now let's experiment with the grid snippets. This one over here, CSS grid snippets. Okay, I'm gonna install this real quick, and you're gonna find this video over here of how to utilize this plugin, and on here on the usage section you can find all of these instructions over here. Okay, look at this DG over here. It's gonna generate us display grid. Let's experiment. Okay, so I'm gonna experiment side by side. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this on the very right over here like this. Look at this. It's gonna open up over here. Okay, Control B to minimize that, and I'm gonna scroll down to see my options over here. Look at this. These are my options over here. Okay, let's experiment. Okay, I'm gonna remove this from here, and I'm gonna write DG, the first thing over here, which is DG is gonna generate me display grid. DG, hit tab like this. Look at that. And let's say that I want grid template rows. What I'm gonna write is GTR tab. There we go. It has also generated me the function, the repeat function. If I want some grid gaps, then I'm gonna write GG like this. Okay, GG tab. There we go. Boom. This plugin is very super handy if you are working with grids. Let's look at plugin number 9, the bracket pair colorizer. So I'm talking about this plugin over here, the bracket pair colorizer. So what it does is it distinguishes different code blocks through various colors. Let me show this to you. Okay, so I'm back to my SASS file. By the way, on SASS you can nest your code blocks like this. Look at this. Inside the universal selector, I have nested the body tag over here like this. Let me show you more examples. Look at this logo over here. Inside this logo block, I have nested the image tag over here. On the title, on the text file, you can see this. I have nested multiple blocks of codes. And look at this over here. The text over here. The text class. Look at the color of this block. It is light orange. Look at this block over here. What is this color? This is pink color over here. And look at this one over here. This is light blue over here. In the same way, you can see that various code blocks are differentiated using these colors over here. Look at this. Different colors. Okay. Let me show you how this is helpful. You can distinguish which is the opening bracket and which one is the closing bracket. Like look at this over here. And hover. Okay. So this light orange color, okay, this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. Sometimes closing bracket and opening bracket. Sometimes we forget to close our brackets, which means that we get a lot of errors in our code. In order to minimize our errors and save time, this plugin is very helpful. And look at this over here, this green color over here, this pink color over here. This is the end of this one over here. Look at this. And by the way, you also get this thin line over here. You see this thin line over here? It is also colored in pink. Then you can find the string. This is also a string. Okay, if you follow this string, then you're gonna find the closing tag over here. Closing bracket over here like this. Now I'm gonna talk about two common plugins that you're gonna use on a day-to-day basis. The first one is a live server, and then another one is live SASS compiler. Let's look at them. Firstly, let's look at live server. So what it does is it opens our project on the browser directly, and if we change something on our code, then it's gonna reload live on our browser. Let me show that to you. Okay, so when you install that plugin, then you're gonna find this little icon over here. This is called Go Live. Okay, let me actually show you by opening a small project. So I have opened this project over here, and then I'm gonna click this small icon over here. This is called Go Live. Okay, like this. And now it's gonna open my project result on the browser live over here like this. There we go. Everything happens real time. Let's say that I want to remove this line over here. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my CodePen over here, and I'm gonna go to HTML. Wait a minute. Here is the HTML over here, and I'm gonna remove that reliable efficiency delivery line. Okay, there's one over here. I got it. I'm gonna remove this real quick over here like this. I'm gonna make it small over here. Control S. The moment you save this, it's gonna automatically reload our browser like this. Look at that. The line got removed. Let me show that to you again. Okay, Control Z is gonna bring it back over here. Control S. Look at that. It's happening real time. Let me remove this again like this. Control S. Look at that. This happens real time. The next plugin that I'm going to talk about is Live SASS Compiler. A lot of you use SASS, okay? So SASS doesn't get run on the browser directly. You need to convert SASS to CSS, okay? So I'm going to show this project folder over here. Look at this source over here. Let me actually zoom in a little bit. Look at this source over here, okay? This is my SASS. This is my SASS over here. It needs to get converted to CSS. This is the converted CSS over here. Now I'm gonna delete this like this. Delete. Okay? Delete like this. Look, I just have SASS. It will not get executed on the browser. It needs to get converted to CSS. Okay? Let me show you how I do this. So after you install the Live SASS compiler, you're gonna get this small icon over here, which is Watch SASS on our ribbon over here, the status bar. This is the status bar. And look at our files over here, okay? In this source, we just have the SASS, okay? Just the SASS, not the CSS. Look real carefully, okay? Look over here. The moment I hit this icon over here, Watch SASS, look at this. Look what happens. My SASS file got converted to CSS directly in just a second. And then what I normally do is I come on the index.html and then I link my CSS over here like this, okay? I don't write style.sass. Look, it is on CSS. So this is my SASS over here. Look at this over here. Let me actually show you a demo, okay? Look at this. The HTML, and this is the universal selector over here. And inside the universal selector, I have nested the body tag over here, okay? Now let me show you the converted SASS, okay? I mean converted CSS. I'm gonna click this over here. Now look at this over here. This is the universal selector. It's gonna give me some WebKit over here as well. And look at this star, which is a universal selector, and then body is gonna generate me this CSS over here. Then this is my container, this is my text, these are my text 1, 2, then card titles, more cards over here, and these are my grid template areas, etc. So all of this is happening because of this small plugin. There's one, the Live SASS compiler. Now let's look at plugin number 12. We have two options over here. Either you can use the VS Code icons or you can also use the materials icons. Let me show you, okay? So I'm on the extensions tab over here and I'm gonna write material, or I can just write icons over here and everything is gonna pop up. Okay? You have first option is VS Code icons over here. Okay, let me actually show you. Wait a minute. Look at this. Okay? Look at these icons over here. You get various packs of icons. Like this, you can find this video over here. I actually use this one over here, materials icon theme. This one over here, okay? And if you scroll down, then you're gonna find all of these icons over here, like this. We have the CSS map over here, the Node.js icon over here. We have the Java icon over here, Nuxt icon, etc. We have tons of icons over here. Look at this. Look. Let me show you, okay? I'm gonna disable this. Okay, now look at my icons over here, okay? I'm gonna disable this over here, but look at here over here. Look at all of these icons over here. If I hit disable, then I'm gonna reload over here. Look, my icons are gone when I disable this plugin. If you want to have nice icons, you can either use the VS Code icons or you can use the material icons. Okay, I'm gonna enable this over here. Now look, I have beautiful icons over here. Now let's talk about plugin number 13, Pola code. This is used to take screenshot of your code. Let me show you a demo, okay? So I'm gonna come back to VS Code over here like this, and on the extensions tab, I'm gonna write Pola code over here and I'm gonna find this first option. It has more than 500,000 downloads, you can see that. And what it does is it takes screenshot of your code like this. Let me show you how you can utilize this, okay? So I'm gonna come back to my SASS folder over here, SASS file over here, okay? So what I'm gonna hit is Ctrl-Shift-P like this. Look, Ctrl-Shift-P, and over here I'm gonna write Pola code like this. Pola code, hit enter like this. Look at this. It got opened over here, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this over here. Okay, Ctrl-C, okay? And over here, Ctrl-V over here like this. Now look at this. my code got pasted over here. You can drag like this. Okay, it's gonna get resized, and you can also drag this black colored box as well, and then it's gonna get resized like this as well. And you can also take screenshot. I mean, this is used to take screenshot, right? So you're gonna click this icon over here, and it's gonna take screenshot of your code, and you can save it anywhere you want, like this. Now this is helpful in terms of if you want to show your code to your friends, or perhaps if you need help, then you can take screenshot of your code and post it on online forums like Stack Overflow and ask for help. Like you got stuck over here, you need some help. Then you can show off this screenshot that you got stuck on this specific portion. Now let's talk about the last plugin, the code time. So I'm going to come back to VS Code, and I'm going to write over here code time over here like this. And you're going to find this over here, the first one. Okay, so I actually use this. So what it does is it calculates how much time you spend on coding. Okay, so after installation, you're going to find this small icon over here. Look at this, 1 hour and 24 minutes. Today I coded for 1 hour and 24 minutes only. So you're going to find this small icon over here. Look at this puppy hand icon, I guess. And you're going to click this over here, and you're going to find dashboard. Look at this dashboard over here. So it's going to give you all those reports that what you did. Look at this. Today, it is Saturday, okay? I have coded for 1 hour 24 minutes. This is active code time. And look at this. How many lines did I add? 331 lines over here. How many lines did I remove? I removed 113 lines. How many keystrokes? How many keystrokes did I make? Look at this keystrokes over here, 1009. Similarly, you're going to find all of this report over here when you code. So this plugin is really helpful if you want to track down how much time you spend on coding on a day-to-day basis. And there we go guys, 14 plugins to save time and increase productivity. If you like the video, give a like, share it with a friend, and feel free to subscribe. Till then, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.